Work Area 2, ERPNext, Week 1 video lesson. This week's lessons are going to be to view and check out the suppliers, what they are, create purchase orders, and create material requests, so that next week we can receive the orders and have stock in the system to be able to sell and ship. So first this week I want to show you about suppliers. To get the supplier, you're going to go back to the awesome bar, type in supplier, the supplier list, and here is a list of the suppliers already in the system. They've been put in there for you. You can see there's the 4 suppliers we'll be working with. I'm going to click on USA Ball Chains and show you a little bit about each supplier. You could attach an image if you wanted to. And if you go to their address and contact, you will notice there is an address in there for USA Ball Chains, so that they have a shipping and contact address that will be required to complete most transactions in the system. And an address and contact will be required for most transactions. So now that you've gone ahead and looked around at the suppliers just a little bit, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about creating a purchase order and creating a material request. So let's first talk about creating a purchase order. To create a purchase order, it would be in the buying section or buying module, purchase order, or the awesome bar, purchase order. Go to the purchase order list. Here's a sample I was working with earlier. I'm going to go ahead and add a new purchase order to the request. Okay, to get the items in here, I'm going to have to go ahead and pick the supplier my purchase order is coming from. Where is this information going to come from for each purchase order? If you go ahead and look on your desktop, there will be a folder contained with quotes from the different suppliers, sample quotes, and you can see here, I'm going to click through the tabs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 sample quotes. I'm going to go ahead and enter that information, and I'll walk you through the first one, the ball chain here, simple, but then you guys are going to have to work through the other 3 longer quotes and get them in as purchase orders and material requests. So first, a purchase order. You want to select the supplier. Okay. To select the supplier, you go down, click supplier, click USA Ball Chains, that is the supplier. And come down here and select the item you'll be ordering. We'll be getting the 4-inch ball with the clasp, as you can see here, 50 of them at a rate of 2 cents. So required by, those will be required by whatever your next class meeting is. Go ahead and just select that date, whatever that may be. Quantity, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get 50 of these, as you can see over here on the quote. And we're going to get 50 at a rate of 2 cents. You can see here. And the amount will be totaled at $1 plus tax at $1.06. And you can see that's all kind of put in there and done for you. And you're going to go ahead and click save and submit. You'll see it says save down here. Submit is also necessary to submit the form. You can see it still says it's a draft. So I click submit, ask me if I permanently want to submit it, and I click yes. Go ahead and get the save noise, and you can see it's go ahead and it's going to be put in there. It's ready to receive and bill. We can create some of that information from here, but we're going to go ahead and take care of that later. Let's go back to the E, or the main screen. Go to material request. You learned a little about material requests this week, but I'll talk a little bit more about them here. A material request, I'm going to go ahead and add one now. And you learned about them in your PowerPoint or your LMS earlier this week. But if you look here under purchase, there are different types of material requests. You have a purchase, a material transfer, material issue, a manufacturer if something was being made on site, or a customer provided. We're going to do a purchase here, a purchase material request, but different types of material requests could be done. A purchase order and a material request are the same thing. Kind of. A material request is more in-house, a document telling everyone the item is going to be ordered, and a purchase order is saying that item is going to be taken care of and ordered from the company. We go ahead and get an item code here, and I'm going to request the class, required by whatever date your next class is. We're getting 50, and we have them in there. They're good to go. We could scan with barcode. We'll see a little about that later. Go ahead and click save and submit, and I can permanently submit that item now. And now I have done a material request and I have done a purchase order for the ball chain. Like I said, this week's activity is for you to continue with the bracelet, the 3D printed parts from Roots, and the different t-shirts that should be all packed. And next week you'll be receiving these items, but these are the items that should be requested from the different suppliers. Okay, next week we'll be receiving these.